So again, I feel like it's a constant theme that our behavior has changed due to the pandemic. But one of the things that's changed, according to Forbes, is the availability and use of at-home abortion pills.
What?
Exactly. So I brought two different articles because one of it views it from a British perspective and one from an American perspective, which are clearly going to be two different things because this is a very political topic. In the United States, so I brought one from Forbes called "Will At-Home Abortions Be Available as the Coronavirus Restrictions Ease?" And then I brought an article from the Technology Inquirer called "Buying Pills Online for an At-Home Abortion, a Lockdown Reality." So if we look at the case from two different perspectives, in the United States, when they locked down non-essential or elective surgery, abortions was placed in the category of an elective surgery. And therefore, it's one of the surgeries in many states that are then banned. Just like they're banning new breasts and all this other stuff, because it's you elected, meaning it's a choice. It is not a necessary surgery. Whereas in the United Kingdom, they created a system where you see a doctor over video or do an email consultation, but then the abortions have just been shifted from mostly happening at a clinic to mostly happening at home when you take pills. So that's kind of like the two cases, how they're playing out in two different countries. But then the question is, what does it mean? And what does the future look like? So in the article from Forbes looking at the case in the UK, it states, at the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020, the UK government announced that an early abortion care would be available at home via telemedicine. So you call your doctor just like you would normally do. You get a set of pills in the mail or at your local pharmacy, and then you carry out the abortion at home by taking the pills, which then induce kind of like premature labor, and then you get rid of the fetus. It's totally safe. And the study from the UK showed that in most cases, it actually decreases the wait time by 4 days. And this is pretty essential because when people have decided for whatever reason they have chosen that they want an abortion, they generally want it very fast because it's not comfortable to be in the situation where you're waiting and still pregnant. So they found that in the UK it happened faster. I'm sure they don't say it, but it happens cheaper because there are less persons involved, but it's also safer and people are happier with it. And just for like proportionality here, between January and June 2020 in the United Kingdom, there were 109,836 abortion procedures. So this is something a lot of women experience. And what we can learn from this article is that technology in terms of teleconferencing with your doctor can actually actively be used for women to be treated at home if they so desire. And that many are now pushing for this to become a standard after the pandemic is over because they were happy with having an abortion in this way, as much as you can say that anyone is probably happy with having an abortion. The difference is when it comes to the United States. Because in the United States, if if abortions is shut down, women actually are prevented from having their abortion, which means they're buying the pills online and it's illegal. So they could be buying the same pill essentially as a person in United Kingdom or in Denmark would get at the pharmacy. They're buying it off of websites and then they're getting the abortion done at home with no medical supervision and no hotline to call. And the Inquirer talked to a woman called Sally. 1 week after Sally realized she was pregnant, her home state, Texas, temporarily banned abortions, deeming them unnecessary elective procedures that were suspended because of the coronavirus crisis. Sally, 34 years old, whose name has been changed for the story to protect her privacy, took her matters into her own hands, something she would have never considered in the past. Having just split with her boyfriend, she decided to buy the pills on the internet and perform her abortion at home. So, first of all, Sally describes that it was actually quite difficult. She went on 3 different websites first, because where do you essentially buy a pill that's illegal? On the third website, she managed to place an order. because actually the other websites, it wasn't that she didn't trust them or she felt like something shady was going on. The abortion pills were sold out. I just want to put this into perspective as a human rights issue. They were sold out. So on the third site, she bought it for $250, and she waited several days not knowing whether she had been scammed or whether it would ever arrive. But then it did arrive. It arrived exactly at 10 weeks since her last period, which is the absolute limit for medical abortions in the United States. And she describes that she took the pill and then she got cramps and bleeding overnight, and then she had terminated her pregnancy. But that she was absolutely terrified, and that this self-managed abortion, as she calls it, is a direct response to medical facilities being shut down due to the coronavirus crisis. So why did I bring the story, and why do I think it's related to tech? Well, it is related to tech because we are lucky that there have been advancements in technology so that a at-home abortion is possible. And now we're seeing that with modern technology, it is also possible to do it in a safe manner if we give women access via video to a licensed professional who will follow up on their medical procedure. And obviously, in the United States, we have the landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision in Roe versus Wade that guarantees a woman's right to have an abortion. So it seems that this is a problem that could be easily solved, not by politics, but by technology, allowing women to have the abortion that they have chosen to have for themselves. And we see a soar in sales in the United States. With over 900,000 abortions being performed in the United States every year. 40% of them are done with medical abortions, which is when you take these pills, like for example at home, and 10,000 of them are done what they call outside the conventional medical establishment. So either via pills bought by yourself online or people that go to Mexico. So let's get people their safe abortions using technology licensed pills and online doctors, people. This should not be a hard problem to solve.
Like they say you gotta get rid of the fetus on your own. Like, I mean, it sounds weird. Do you just flush it down the toilet? What
Yeah,
do
I think you have to realize that at this stage, I mean, obviously this is a very political issue, whether you call it a child or a fetus or what you call it. But at this stage, you know, there will be some extended blood clotting, and that more and more procedures are being shifted to home because it also makes the woman feel like she's not sick and she's not being treated at the hospital. So this is a big shift that we will likely see more of in the rest of the world and hopefully also in the United States.